In today's video we have a folder made by Maxace. This is, I believe, the third folder from Maxace that I'm showing on my channel. The first one I ever bought was the Maxace Amber 2S, and the second one was the Maxace Punchy. I'm not quite sure how it works with Maxace or well, MC Studio, Midnight Cat Studio. They seem to release, a model and then it's sort of discontinued and you can never get your hands on it ever again, and then they make some new models. It seems to be the way that Maxace works, because I've been looking for an additional Maxace Punchy, but they seem to be totally unavailable, and well, you just can't seem to get your hands on them. Same goes with the Amber 2S, I believe. But here we have the Goliath 2.0. So the Goliath was released some time ago, maybe, well, I'm not quite sure, a few years perhaps. And then now, or well, I'm not sure if this is actually the first run of the Goliath 2.0, but this is my first experience with the Goliath. And reading here off the box, it says gold marble carbon fiber, black titanium handle or black stonewash titanium handle, Böhler K110 steel satin finish. So I know that there are a lot of different options for handle materials in carbon fiber, in micarta, G10, etc. And there are also two versions of this knife in terms of blade steel. This is the K110 version. There's also one in M390. And I was originally aiming to get one in M390 because that is, as some of you know at least, my absolute favorite steel for folders, regardless of size of folder. This being a really large sized folder. But K110 is not a bad steel by any means. It is sort of like, I think it is kind of like D2 perhaps. I don't have many knives. Perhaps this is actually my first knife in K110. I'm actually not quite sure, but it is a good working steel, but not not with the same kind of retention and corrosion resistance, etc. That you see with M390. There is of course a price difference between the K110 version and the M390 version. This one being the cheaper version, of course. I think this one was, well, I'm in Sweden, but let's say that I paid 100 and I don't know the exchange rate by heart, but let's say that this one is like, I don't know, $60 cheaper $60 cheaper than the M390 version. I would have gotten the M390 version if it hadn't sold out. But yeah, K110 it is for now. It might get restocked in the future, or well, we might never see the model again. Who knows? Anyway, let's start with a unboxing. Just a regular box like this. Not a whole lot to say about that. Well, I can see that they have changed the design of the pouch here. I like this a lot better than what I got with my Punchy and my Amber 2S, both which were much more exclusive models. But this is definitely a step up, no doubt about it. I actually think that it is Midnight Cat Studios that have, designed the knife, etc., and that it's been manufactured by Maxace, if I'm not totally mistaken. So what do we have here? We have a piece of cloth. Do we have anything more here? No. And then we have the knife itself. And yeah, standard pouch. But like I said, this is a lot better than what I got with my other two. So maybe they have improved that for all current models made by, Maxace. Hopefully that is the case. And the knife itself. Yeah, this is not a small knife. Sure got some weight to it. Pretty good action as well. So let's go over the specs real fast here, and then we can look at the details of the knife itself. We have a total length or overall length of 255 millimeters, so 25.5 centimeters in total length. This is a large knife. We have a blade length of 113 millimeters. We got a closed length, smooth action, a closed length of 142 millimeters, so 14.2 centimeters in closed length, with a blade length of 11.3 centimeters and a blade thickness of 3.7 millimeters. So it's not, not really thin, but not super thick either. But it's, quite a stout blade. Full flat grind, satin finish, K110 steel, drop point, flipper, obviously. Locking mechanism. We have a liner lock. For some reason I would have thought that this would be a frame lock given the size of the knife. But Maxace, they decided, or well, Midnight Cat Studios, if they are the ones who designed the knife, to go with a liner lock. I have no issues with the liner lock, and the lockup does seem to be quite solid. But for this knife I just thought it would be frame lock. So that was a bit surprising. When I didn't know it was a liner lock when I ordered it, but I thought it was still, a bit surprising for some reason. Let's see, opening action, like I stated, it's really nice. Closing action is, as you can see, more or less, it is hydraulic. There is of course some weight to the blade, so if we get it going, it will drop shut. So the centering here is, the centering of this blade is more or less 100%. There is no lock stick, easy to disengage. Quite satisfying, flipping and just, messing around with like that. So my hand, this is interesting. I have, or interesting, but I have large hands or semi-large hands, size 10 in gloves. Placing the knife here in my hand. This is a large knife with a large handle and large blade, obviously. So I could easily fit 2 more fingers here if I wanted. This finger groove here, as always, finger grooves are tricky with both fixed plates and folders, because you never really know how well they will suit your hand. I mean, you never know if there will be a problem here, depending on how sharp or pointed this part here is. It's rounded pretty nicely here, so it's no sharp edges or spots like that. And it, my finger goes well in there for this type of grip. So in terms of comfort, it is a comfortable knife, and given the fact that it is a liner lock, does make it comfortable here as well, because you don't have anything, you don't have the frame lock going in, so you do get nice even grip here on the handle. Placing the thumb here, we feel some light jimping. It's really not aggressive at all. It is, I'm not sure how functional the grind, did I say grinding? I meant jimping, of course. We do feel some jimping here, but it's not very aggressive. And I'm not sure how functional the jimping actually is, but it's not, it's not in the way, and it's not a concern. It's just some very mild jimping. See, check for blade play. There is no blade play whatsoever here. It's like I said, it's a very solid lockup, no blade play, great centering, smooth action. So that is, I mean, well, pretty much what you can, pretty much what you can expect from a knife from Maxace, but it's also all you can wish from a folder in general, I'd say. Pocket clip, pretty standardized clip, really tight or really good retention on the clip. And like I said, this one comes with a gold marbled, or more like shredded, it's more marbled, gold marbled carbon fiber, which looks really nice. It's kind of dark in this video, so I'm not sure how well you can see the details here, but it is nice. It is smooth. There are no voids in the carbon fiber here, and the transition here between the titanium part and the marble carbon part is more or less almost unnoticeable. Feels good. As always, Torx screws, no proprietary screws or anything like that. I really do like the quality of this knife, or the feel of this knife, I will say. It feels super solid, really, great action, great ergos, comfort, etc. And that makes me wish even more that I would have gone for the M390 version. Once again, I want to say that K110, it's not a bad steel. When I look at the specs and when I read a little bit about it, but I mean, to know that I could have gotten this knife in my favorite steel, well, it makes me feel like I missed out a little bit. Then again, I am of course happy to have it, at all. I could have missed it out completely. Let's get some papers and stuff and see if the sharpness level, the edge, is as nice as the rest of the knife. Let's also get a scale so we can check the weight of it, because it is definitely pretty heavy knife, not gonna lie. So give me a minute here. Let's start this by checking the weight. 225 grams. And in ounces, what would that be? 7.9 ounces. And this is, yeah, there's definitely some weight to it. Balance point, where do we have it? So the balance point is sort of at the finger groove, which is not, you know, a bad place, I'd say. Yeah, let's do some testing here of the sharpness of this one. Let's, how do we open this little thing? Nice piece of cloth here. So, as always, I have, well, not always, but this time around we have some printing paper, some magazine paper, and some newspaper. So let's start with the regular printing paper here. So it is most definitely a sharp knife. Yeah, it sliced up the printing paper with absolutely zero issues. That was more or less totally effortless. Let's go with some magazine paper then, shall we? Let's see if we can remove that. Let's see. This is visible in the camera, hopefully. No, it's not. Let's see. That perhaps. Yeah, regular semi, laminated paper of sorts. So yeah, most definitely a sharp knife. I'd say that. We can try some more wavy patterns when we do the cutting here now. Let's see if we are getting out of the camera, sort of, but let's see if we can do like. Yeah, it is kind of difficult doing that now because I can't hold the paper or the magazine the way I want it. But even so, it is obviously a very nice sharp edge here. Let's go with newspaper last now, because that is usually the most interesting challenge of it all. So let's see what we can do. So this is actually pretty impressive. I'm trying to use as much of the edge as possible here, slicing. So all in all, it sliced the newspaper here very nicely. The level of sharpness of this folder is probably among the top of all my folders. This is exactly how I want my knives to perform doing these specific paper slicing tasks. I can't ask for anything more than what we have just seen. Then comes the question about, the edge retention, but that is not something we will be able to test. So my camera just overheated in the middle of a sentence. I think I was mentioning the edge retention here, and that we won't be able to, fully test it in this tabletop review or overview, whatever you want to call this video. Regardless, what we have here is a knife that looks great, feels great, and performs great with a very budget-friendly price, and that goes for both the M390 version and the K110 version. Perhaps I would say that the M390 version would have been, the more price-worthy model of the two. But even so, this one I think is priced around, I'm not sure in dollars again here, but like $130-ish perhaps, with these, golden marble carbon fiber scales. The ones in my Carta and G10 are like perhaps $40 cheaper perhaps. I don't have the prices, fully by heart, but it is, you get a lot of folder for the money, I would say. Looking at the knife here now, from my perspective, I see there is one aspect I forgot to talk about perhaps here. And when I'm sitting here with the knife in that very particular angle that I was watching it in right now, we can see that there is some milling, there is actually quite a bit of milling going on here on the inside of the scales. It is not going to be very easy to show in the camera, but there is a fair bit of milling here. Just putting that out here now that I saw it. I should have mentioned it when I did the overview part here of the video. So that's interesting, the amount of work that was actually put into this knife, especially given the price once again. So all in all, well-designed knife, sweet action, great factory edge. In my opinion, well worth the money. If I could go back in time, I would have picked some of these up in M390, and I could potentially see myself, picking one extra up in K110 as well. I'm going to put this one to some use so that I can, see how tough, how durable the edge is, what the edge retention looks like, and also the corrosion resistance of this steel. Man, I really like the full flat grinder. It suits the blade design very well. I've got to say that. Feels like a real workhorse. I would have felt, a bit more secure with a frame lock instead of a liner lock. But once again, you can't get it all, especially not for this price. And I mean, as long as there are no issues with the liner lock, of course, then well, then it's not really a problem at all. It's just that I prefer frame locks in general over liner locks. So, well, if some representative from Maxace or Midnight Cat Studios is watching this video, I wouldn't mind seeing you making some more of these models with a frame lock perhaps, and once again M390, so I can get another chance to pick it up. Then again, I don't know, maybe Lamnia will get more in stock in both versions. Time will tell. But if you've been on the fence, if you've been checking this knife out or looking at it, know that it is of high quality. Really great fit and finish, nice ergos, sharp edge. I think that kind of concludes this this tabletop review here for the Maxace Midnight Cat Studios Goliath 2.0.